Three, two, one. Welcome back to the Buckhouse Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Benjamin Buckhouse, alongside Johnathan Buckhouse right over here. We are two brothers that get together once a week to go ahead and talk about everything, nothing, whatever's going on in our life. We just talk and get caught up with each other. We got a lot of kind of common interests, including snowboarding, sports, video games, social media, things along those lines. And we just talk about what's going on in that part of our lives. We talk about motivating stuff. But because of last week's episode, Johnathan is no longer allowed to start podcasts because we have to keep him on a leash. No, I'm joking. But no, seriously, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. I'm exhausted today. I had a pretty physical day yesterday on the snowmobile, and then just it takes a lot out of you, and then it's like, yeah, I haven't fully recovered yet.
You know what's funny is in all of our podcasts, you've never told me that you're exhausted from snowmobiling. You may be tired from going to the gym. You may be tired from having an actual snowboarding day where you're tired, but never from snowmobiling. How is like not trying to be not mocking you? How is snowmobiling a tiresome experience? Because I've never done it.
It's funny because as I was out there yesterday, I took Aaron McKenzie, our friend is an MMA fighter, and his buddy, and me, Ski Doc, and our mutual friend Aaron. So we were out there with 3 sleds, 5 people. And so that's one reason I was tiring is I had an additional person on my sled. But dude, people don't understand how hard it is to drive that machine. It is not this simple, oh, I just turn the wheel or the handle and it turns. Like you gotta like counter steer, you have to all your weight into it. Like the thing tips over super easy. So then you gotta flip it over. And then because we went out with only 3 sleds but 5 people, when we were doing runs, the only way to do 3 people on a sled is you could do 2 will do Canadian style, meaning they stand side by side, and then I always did the tow, meaning like there's a rope behind the sled pulling someone up that's strapped into their snowboard. Because I'm the strongest snowboarder in the group, I just always did the tow up, which is very physical on your arms. It's almost like wakeboarding. So yeah, it was just a very physical day, which is good. I need to get some physical days in. I feel like a blob, man. I feel like a bloated blob of still from Italy. Dessert after every meal type thing.
I get that. I get wanting to work out because even for me, I'm going through 75 hard and I'm exhausted, but I still look forward to like doing the workouts. I look forward to getting stronger. So I get that. I actually I don't know if she ever told you, but I was messaging Bobby the other day about me potentially borrowing your weighted vest because I didn't realize how expensive weighted vests are, but I wanted to add a more challenging experience to my walks and things. And so I was like, hey, Bobby, are you going to be in Colorado Springs at any point? And she's like, no plans for that. But yeah, no, I was going to try to borrow that because I knew that you weren't using it at this time.
Yeah, no, the weighted vest is super nice. I love it. Once again, it just adds a little bit of weight to your walks. You can do push-ups with it, pull-ups, and that's one of those things. Like I'd love to be working out every day, and people always say this about working out. Like though, there's like you can't say there's no time. There's always time, and I could always figure out time. But it's like then what else are you going to sacrifice? And then it's like peak season. I'm posting 3 shorts a day, trying to get long form videos out, trying to still spend time with the kids, all this type of stuff. Like it's so hard. Like my day yesterday started. I left at 8 a.m. to take Roman, but I woke up at 3. I edited in the morning. Though actually yesterday I did all emails all morning. I caught up on a ton of emails, which I guess I could get on the elliptical bike for that. But like my physicalness needs to be like going out on the snowmobile and getting poled and like, like the snowboarding is my physical activity each day. But when you're eating, no, you're not eating the best, I guess that is the best way to put it. Is it's just not enough exercise to keep up with the all the nice meals in the Dolomites.
I'm looking it up right now because I knew it was a good number of calories burned while snowboarding?
It's hard though because I snowboard so much, I can do it at such an efficient level that I don't burn as many calories.
I get that. Like your body is very accustomed to it, but you're still doing it. You know, it's
Yeah, especially when I'm in the park.
and if you think about like a football athlete or a basketball athlete or like professional athletes, they've been doing that. Like they do that sport more than you snowboard. If we're being honest, like just the amount of effort that they put into it and everything. That doesn't mean that they're not burning calories. That doesn't mean that they're not pushing their cardiovascular system. That doesn't mean that they're not sweating by the end of the game. Like that doesn't mean that they're like just because they're doing a ton doesn't mean that they're not working out. But it says here there are factors which makes a lot of sense depending on the terrain, depending on the snow conditions, and we can all agree with this. But it's says you can burn between 300 and 600 calories per hour while snowboarding. And I know like our powder days in California, those were some of the most exhausting days I've ever had because of how much, like you got to lean into it and that stuff. And then even if you're in the terrain park, you're using a lot of muscles to flex the snowboard to ollie or to throw yourself in a direction. So I bet you're pushing that 600 calories per hour, bro. And so you're working out. Don't get me wrong, you're working out. Uh, it's just may not be muscle growth on your upper body. It's more so. You probably gain a fraction of muscles on your legs. Would you agree?
Yeah, my legs definitely are super toned up right now. My legs tone up nicely, and then for my waist up, I feel like a potato. But it's hard because you're talking about working out. It's like, man, I miss going to the gym and feeling like my muscles were getting bigger. I miss my arms feeling tight and my chest feeling tight, and the feeling you get from being like having ripped muscles, not like ripped as like they're huge, but like they're damaged, they're healing, the pump, like also like and this is the one thing I do love about the summertime is the content stuff kind of slows down. I can focus on um health and getting better physically and things like that. Like I do enjoy concentrating on that. And I mean, you're going through it right now. It's a very time consuming process.
Yeah, that's honestly where I'm at with 75 hard. I discussed it going into this. If you guys are not aware, I'm doing 75 hard at the moment. That's something that Jonathan did before his snowboard season started. But and if you're not familiar with it, it's a challenge. It's a 75-day challenge where you work out twice a day, one indoor, one outdoor. No alcohol. You have to stick to a diet. You have to read 10 pages a day of a book, a self-help book at that, and then a couple other things to it. But going into this, I was like, I know it's gonna be hard, and it is hard. But the truth be told is, I was like, I'm gonna be busy, and that's really what it is I am busy. And this week has been pretty tough. I was telling Jonathan that right before we started the podcast. But where it's tough is I'm gone for work for 10 hours a day, and so my day starts usually before 5 a.m. Around that like 4:40 mark, if not sooner, for the podcast or whatever. So around 4:40, I'm up for the gym, and then I go to the gym. I get home, I immediately start getting ready for my day. I get home around 5:30. I then go ahead and take care of our dogs, and then my wife and I are walking around 6:30. Or doing something outside around 6:30, and then we come back inside about 45 minutes to an hour later, make dinner, and then it's all of a sudden it's 8:30, and I am ready for bed. 8:30. I am ready for bed, but we want to enjoy a little bit of time together, so we normally are watching a show on the couch or something, and every night I am falling asleep on the couch, and then we get up and go to the bed. I read my book, and then I fall asleep. That is how my day goes until the weekend comes.
I don't know how you read at night. I can't read at night because I can't stay awake and I can't comprehend anything that I read.
I have had that struggle, but it also depends on I'm interested in the book I'm reading, which the book I'm reading is The Millionaire Next Door. It's a financial book on what your stereotypical millionaire, well, sorry, not your stereotypical, what your actual, what your real millionaire actually looks like. And it breaks that down. So I really enjoyed the book. So that does make me more, wanting, like, it makes me want to stay awake longer, but there have been nights where I fall asleep while reading. And what it really is I cannot get comfortable while I'm reading the book. I have to be uncomfortable while reading the book, in order for me to not fall asleep.
Yeah, I get that. I I usually try. I just enjoy reading way more in like the middle of the day when I'm like awake. I would like try to read. I could like take Roman to school, go do my activity, whatever it was, like skateboarding or whatever I was filming for the day, and then after I finish that activity, I try to read in my car real quick, just like knock the 10 pages out.
So there is an opportunity for me to do that. And admittedly, I've been struggling with it. But what it is my lunch at work is an hour long, which is, I don't want to say I hate it, but also I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's kind of like a love-hate relationship because an hour for a lunch it's a long time. Sometimes 30 minutes, depending on what you need to do, may not seem like enough time, but an hour-long lunch, if you work a 9 to 5, that's a long time because that adds to your day. Like I said, I really take into consideration that I am gone for 10 hours a day. I leave 40 minutes before, so I leave at 7:20 and I don't get home until about 5:30, 5:40, and so I'm gone a little over 10 hours a day, and it is due to the fact that I'm at work. I work 8 hours a day, but I also have that hour-long lunch. And so just even getting off 30 minutes earlier would be nice. But on this lunch, I do like to edit podcast shorts, which I have not done much of this week, to be honest. I've been quite literally exhausted this week. Like I said, this week's been tough, but that's a nobody cares, work harder moment. But there is an opportunity for in the middle of the day for me to read. I have done that in the past. I read my Bible at work, and I want to get into that. But I also have been trying to be productive, like I said, with creating the YouTube shorts and things along those lines. So
The hour lunch is brutal because it just makes your day longer, and and sometimes yeah, at work like you do need that like longer lunch to like decompress or to figure out how the day is going at work. But yeah, you don't get paid for your lunches, so when you do take them, because at Target, when I worked at Target, it was a 30-minute lunch, and so that was the nice thing is when I went from Target to Frito-Lay, Frito-Lay didn't have a scheduled lunch, so I just didn't take a lunch, which means I could always get off work earlier.
yeah, I personally, a lunch has always been important to me, and not in the sense that I need the break, but it's just I need the food. I can't necessarily, I shouldn't say I can't, but I would much rather eat food in the middle of the day because I notice a big difference when I get that food in me and a change in energy. Like if I'm feeling tired throughout the morning and I am hungry, eating that food immediately changes that experience. And it makes sense because you're adding calories to yourself to be able to consume throughout the day and everything. But uh, no, I've worked in jobs, or like for my social media job that I had last, I would never really take a lunch, but I would eat while working. So like I said, I don't need the break. I just need to be able to eat food. That's the only thing that I need.
Yeah, I agree because I would eat with Frito-Lay when I would drive from like one store to the other because I would, my day started at Silverthorne, but I would go all the way to Breckenridge. So there's a lot of drive time, and I would just eat while I was driving.
On the note of 75 hard, I kind of have like I guess you could call it just like a motivational rant I want to go on. You okay with that, bro? You ready for me to rant?
Oh, you're gonna rant.
Oh, I'm gonna
Let's hear it.
rant. I'm gonna rant.
You guys are in trouble.
Everyone's in trouble. I just want to take this moment to talk about 75 hard because I think it's going to be one of the best things that has happened to me. And what I mean by that is the pure like behind it and the pure discipline building it's doing for me, I think it's gonna just swing me in a very positive trajectory. Because I've been open about this for a while and I'm not against it, but like I would say that I have motivating aspects about me, or I've got discipline aspects about me, but I've also struggled with it. I've had more times where I'm more motivated, more disciplined, and then other times where I'm like lazy and not. Right, I struggle with going back and forth, and I've done a lot of self help in the last you know 5 years to work against that. To work towards being a better husband, a better man, a better person, and a stronger person at that. And I think that by me challenging myself to do 75 hard and going through this disciplinary challenge, it's going to swing me in the right direction. I feel like I was teetering on going to the next level. Like I was teetering on me being where I was at and kind of struggling with like, getting stuff done and being a productive person, to then I'm doing the 75 hard stuff and I don't have a choice. Technically I do, but I'm going to finish this challenge. So I don't have a choice. My choice is only to be disciplined and successful. And I really think that by me doing this challenge, it's going to push me over that ledge, push me over that teeter to move on to that next level in my life, to be able to, prioritize the right things. And I'm super excited for it. I'm super excited for 75 hard to be over, not because I'm miserable or not because I am struggling or anything, but it's more so I am ready to get time back because I want to work on so many other projects. And even on my weekends, like I have built out schedules for my day because it's like I need to get stuff done. So I need to have a schedule of like, okay, this is the like I want to go thrift shopping to get clothes. Humble brag. I've had to increase my shirt size because my muscle growth, which is such a good feeling. But because of that, I'm gonna go thrift shopping to go get some extra clothes. So I'm like allocating. Well, I can only go thrift shopping for this amount of time because I've got other stuff that needs to get done. Like I feel like I'm becoming more of a planner, and I'm making just better decisions. I'm reading these financial books, and I'm creating these budgets, and I'm working. I really feel like I'm stepping into my next level. And I just wanted to say that because if you're listening to this podcast and if you feel like you're also teetering, if you feel like you're on that verge of becoming that better man, that better woman, but leveling up in life, this challenge is kicking my butt and I love it. And I am so ready to move on to the next level in life. And I think that this is something that's really helping me out with that.
Heck yeah, bro. Yeah, no, every time you do level up in life, it is such a good feeling, whether that's leveling up physically, mentally, um, I mean financially too. Like I still remember the day when I realized I was like, oh wait, I can make way more money. Like I just didn't think you made more money or could make more money. And now I have the thought of like, oh, I can make unlimited amounts of money, and money is just totally available. And so it just levels you up in so many aspects. And me and Bobby are on just had a couple breakthrough, as weird as this sounds, but like we set a goal together as a couple, which sounds like no brainer. All couples should set goals and do things together. But realistically, because I've been married for 10 years now, you go through moments where like I had a lot of personal goals and I was working on more of my, it sounds very selfish, but like the channel, my things, like growing like certain other stuff that wasn't the family, the relationship kind of just sat there and just Bobby, thank God she's amazing and came along with it. But like now it's like, hey, like let's focus highly on our relationship. Let's focus highly on getting a house and couple goals. And now Bobby's like in here doing sticker orders with me. We're like looking at our finances together. We're making choices together that like we weren't doing recently, in our relationship like leveled up as well. And so I'm so happy for you, bro. It is huge, and you're actually in that age range where my life like fully changed. The 27, 26, 27 age range, right?
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. Yep.
like literally at age 27 is when I figured out what I wanted to do with my life, or at least for the current decade, which is, pursuing this YouTube channel and trying to grow a business and going all at it. And so from that decision, like I became a different person. Um, and I love who I became and who I am. And I love that I still am trying to like level up and do different things and get better. And um, to think like from 27 to, so now I'm about to turn 34 in April, which is disgusting. The amount of people I've impacted or like been able to motivate and to inspire to teach how to snowboard is like mind blowing. And I know your next chapter, bro, your next decade is going to be sick, especially with this type of momentum and what you're saying.
Yeah. No, I I've been sitting on this for a while, but I do think that I know the trajectory I'm going to go in. Um, and one reason why I really knew that I was actually leveling up in life is there's a moment I never thought this day would come, and I wouldn't necessarily say I'm not getting emotional about this. I'm not, but it's more so like it's well, and it's something I never thought I would say, and it's like I'm kind of over playing video games, and uh I never thought I would say that because video games have always been in my life, and they always will be in my life. But I have no like, for those that don't know, I've got a video game YouTube channel that's got a little over 2,300 subscribers, so it has a little bit of attraction, and I've had over 2 million views, so it's got some success behind it, and I make really good videos. I know that, but I have no motivation not to make videos. I have no motivation to play video games right now. And it's not even, this happened before 75 hard. I was just like, I just am not finding that much enjoyment out of it. And that really sucks to hear because like that's something I would say I'm very passionate about. I love video games. And uh I think that the next trajectory is because I still have the same goal in life, and that is to own an esports organization. Quick explanation on what an esports organization is essentially it's a sports team for video games for esports, and it sounds nerdy, it sounds crazy, but there's actually crazy like financial gain you can get from it and crazy experiences you can have from it. And what people don't understand is that like the Dallas Cowboys have a esports team called Complexity. Like it's a real deal. And I've got a goal to own an esports organization, and that is still going to happen. That's still going to be my goal. But the direction I'm going to go with it is slightly different. I want to go into, and I'm going to make my first video this weekend. But I understand Halo esports really well, and I am going to kind of go into an analytical side of that, or like a news side of that, where I discuss what's going on in esports in Halo and talk about what's like the team changes that have happened, or there's a tournament coming up. These are my predictions because I've made a video in the past and it did well, and it got a lot of credible feedback from it, and so I know what I'm talking about, and that is the direction I want to go in is esports. So I'm going to feed into that because, like I said, I have no passion to play video games. I just really want to make content about it, though. So, yeah.
We've all been there, bro. We've all had to make those choices. So it's things like, I mean, I play a fraction of what I used to play with video games. I still do enjoy getting on and playing when I can. And I still love, like I got Halo decor all over my office still and stuff. And so like, it's not like video games are gone or out of my life. It's just it's really hard to justify playing 4 hours of video games, which is like the adequate amount of time you need to put into a video game to feel satisfied with your time put in. Like with video games, you can't play 10 minutes of a video game. Like there's not enough time. You really need to play hours, and then you're like, all right, that was a good session. I had a lot of fun. Where the heck am I gonna get 4 hours of video games? I got 2 kids. I got a business. I gotta get edits done. I got emails to do. And so like for me, it really became hard to justify putting time into video games when every time I video game, I put something on the back burner. And so now though, like I got a video game for Christmas, a little like DS game that I can put 15 minutes in. It's like a turn-based like RPG type game. So I can go do like one fight or whatever. That will be like 15 minutes. And then it's like, okay, that was enough video games. But still, during that time frame, I'm not being a dad. I'm not being a husband. I'm just laying in bed with my face in my DS type thing. But escapism is good. It's like reading a book, watching a movie. Taking time to escape is good. It's just the amount of time video games needs. The amount of time you need to escape in video games is a lot more, I feel like.
Yeah, I had a similar kind of idea behind it, and don't get me wrong, like I still actually have played some games, but it's more so like on my Switch, and I'll jump on for a second. Or going back to the Halo conversation, I did jump on Halo for literally 2 games the other night, and it's just 2 games, but it is a way for me to, like you're saying, escape. And this is, I think, a lot of people don't like when we talk about video games, but I think this could be a takeaway is having that escape is important, just to allow yourself to enjoy the moment for just a little bit, whether that's drawing, whether that is reading a nonfiction book, things along those lines, like or sorry, a fiction book, not nonfiction, reading a fiction book, just escaping from the world for a little bit. It is nice to have that for video games, and I don't do it often anymore, but just grabbing my Switch and because of how versatile it is, just to play for like 10 minutes, I actually do enjoy that a little bit. I know what you mean though. If you're wanting to quote unquote be productive in a game or get stuff done in a game, yeah, you got to sink 4 hours a day into it. It's a time consuming thing, but no, I just realized it's like me playing my games, it doesn't take me anywhere. Like it's so time consuming, and it's just I've got other stuff to do, and there was just a moment when I was talking with Kirsty about it, and I was like, man, I'm growing up. I'm an old man now. I'm done playing video games, and it's kind of like I said, it's a little sad. I never thought that day would come, but here I am, 26 years old, ready to put up the sticks, as they say.
Well, you definitely stop playing video games when your life becomes, I would say, more interested, but like when you become so much more interested in what you're doing in life and your life is giving you so much joy that you don't need that escapism anymore. You don't need to go to a video game to find enjoyment. Like a good example is like you go to work all day, you don't really like the job you're working, and then so you come home and you're just dying to turn on the Xbox and get into a world that you enjoy. But if you're enjoying who you are and you enjoy your job, so you get fulfillment out of your job, and you come home and you enjoy going to the gym and you enjoy spending time with your wife, making dinner with your wife, and all this stuff, all of a sudden it's like you're finding so much enjoyment from all these other things that it's like, oh, I didn't even think about turning on the Xbox because like I didn't need to turn it on to find joy.
No, I actually that speaks to me a lot, and I didn't really think about that way, but dude, I love my job. I love my job. I want to dig deeper into it. Not saying that for the podcast, but like I want to go deeper into my job. If you guys don't know or remember, I work as a front desk and social media expert for a ABA therapy company. We work with kids with autism and just working on their behaviors and things along those lines. So the impact we're having on these kids' lives is life-changing. And it's not even just me. Like, honestly, I don't do nearly as much as the actual therapists do, but just being there, being present, and being as helpful of a person I can possibly be. That's the big thing. Is I try to be as helpful as possible, and I get compliment on that. They're always like, "Thank you, Buck. You're super helpful and everything." But dude, I love my job. I love going to work. I love seeing these kids. I love seeing the impact that we're making on these kids, and I love trying to help them grow and everything. So, dude, I the way that you said that makes total sense. Like, I'm getting so much enjoyment from that I don't really need that escape from the world. Whereas in my previous jobs, not necessarily the social media one, but like when I was renting cars at the airport or when I was working at Best Buy or any of that, Yeah, dude, I hated it. I hated it. And the only thing I wanted to do was just escape, drink some beer, and play video games. That's what I wanted to do. Me now, I have no desire to drink, but I have no desire to play video games, but I'm enjoying my day to day life. And it's awesome. It is awesome.
I'm so proud of you, bro. I'm so happy for you because I know you went a long stretch of not enjoying the work or what you were doing, and you job hopped a bunch. Not to like say it's a bad thing,
No,
but
you're fine. You're fine.
man, I'm happy. I'm happy with everything that's going on in your life right now, dude. I think you're gonna have some dramatic changes that you don't even see coming in the near future.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. No, I know that a lot of dramatic changes are gonna happen. Like I said, I'm ready to level up in life, dude. I'm so ready to level up in life, and and when it comes to my job, like I said, I want to dig deeper into it. Like there was recently a I say promotion opportunity, but I didn't meet the criteria, and even if they put criteria aside, I don't think I would be ready for it. But what it essentially is it's called a center coordinator, which is essentially an assistant manager position, or what you could also compare it to for more like common medical terms is like there's a practice manager. I would be like the assistant practice manager uh for this, and I saw that and I was reading the job application, and uh it's a job that I could see myself doing, and I could see myself doing it well, and I would like to move in the direction of working towards that promotion. But a big thing is I would have to in the requirement you have to have that therapist experience. And although I think that they could have been like, okay, well, maybe we'll overlook that or whatever. I think it's really important to have that experience as a therapist. So it's like, no, I need to be, it's called an RBT. So I need to get an RBT. I need to work towards that. And I 100% believe I can do that position and do it well. And so that was like one thing that sparked my drive also, is like, I want to work towards that and I want to dive into that. And I had a one-on-one meeting with my manager, and it went extremely well. And I told her, I was like, I would like to get my RBT, and talked with her about that and explained my, I would like to further my career, and that's the direction I need to move in if I'm going to do that. And she was all for it. So that's something we're going to be working on, not immediately, but over the next couple of months. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to level up, and life's changing. Life's becoming clearer. I'm ready to be an adult.
I mean, there's nothing. Being an adult is still fun. I mean, it's hard because I'm like a professional kid in a lot of ways, but I'm such an adult at the same time. And I think sometimes by becoming an adult, you actually get to be a kid longer, if that makes sense. Because also now you have the finances to do the stuff you want to do. You have, in some ways, you can build time. I don't know. It's just like when you get everything put together, you get to do more fun stuff. Like I got my life together so I could snowboard more, you know?
So my favorite analogy that I think that can match what you're referring to, but without using the same terminology, is I'll have a graphic up on the screen that's talking about making easy decisions now leads to a hard life later, whereas making hard decisions now leads to a easy life later. So to compare that to your analogy is like, yeah, you say that you're being a kid, but it's like you have made the tough decisions. You've been a quote unquote adult, making those adult decisions and being a responsible human being. You've made that decision now, so that way you can go on these trips to Italy and go and be a kid and explore these mountains worry free, because you did all the hard work previously. So look at you now. Whereas if you are going through life with those easy decisions, being a kid now, if you're not being a responsible adult now, all of a sudden later in life, you don't get to have that same luxury, because you're having to worry about retirement and worry about finances, and you have to make those, you have a hard life later because you were trying to be a kid longer. So that's the way I like to see it. I don't know if you agree with that analogy fitting, but no, it's like if you're a responsible person, it makes your life easier.
No, definitely. I will say the one thing I struggle the most with out of everything, out of all my growth, everything I do, I struggle most with not feeling like I do enough, like, period, despite I work from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, if that makes sense. And I don't know how, like, I got, especially like the last like couple of days, I was just, and maybe it's because when I went to Italy, I wasn't able to get any long form videos out. And like I just mentally like tear myself up, like, dude, you better get the edit done. Like, dude, you're not doing enough. Like I don't know. Like I am my own worst enemy when it comes to like mental self criticism and mental like beating myself up to either do more or to like I don't I've eaten not the best since Christmas. And so like in my head I'm like, did you put on that work in the summer? Now you're fat. Like get back to like I beat myself up so bad despite like I posted I posted if you count them on each platform, I posted 9 shorts yesterday, a long form video. You know, I went and filmed a bunch. I filmed from 10 to 3, making tons of videos, and like my day went from like didn't get. I also edited 2. Not like there weren't. I did 2 top to bottom runs, but I still got 2 edits done yesterday, as well as like 20 something emails. All like I did a ton, and yet I went to bed feeling like I didn't do enough.
I think I think there could be some deeper meaning behind some of this stuff, bro. Don't want to like call you out or diagnose you with anything, but it could be some anxiety driven stuff. And so I know that things like magnesium can help out with anxiety, but also I think if it does if it continues to become a problem, you could seek some further medical you know professional help on that. But it sounds like you got a lot of anxiety about it. But one thing that you know I have heard in the past is just like don't be hard on yourself, and that's a lot easier said than done. But it's like give yourself grace, bro. Like you're doing great. You're doing great, and you are doing a ton, and you are a great dad, and you are traveling, and you are a healthy person. Sure, you have these down moments, but it's health is a journey, as you know. You've got your ups and downs, and right now you're on a down, but that doesn't mean that this summer you're not going to go and kick ass, bro. So stop beating yourself up. Stop, like, give yourself grace. Be thankful for what you have done, and to be thankful for what you're going to do, and stop looking on the glass, is half empty. Start looking at the glass as half full. You literally you uploaded 10 videos yesterday. Most people barely post 1 video, and you're posting 10. So, and we were just talking last week about about TikTok closing, and how all these content creators are panicking because all they have is TikTok for their careers. And yes, I am like that's a terrible experience for you guys. So I'm so sorry if you're a TikTok content creator and you are losing your financial experience from this. But you need to diversify. You need to be across all platforms to be successful. You have to do that. Just because if one fails, that your career isn't over. And a great example of that is when you're investing in the stock market. If you're putting all your money in Bitcoin and all of a sudden Bitcoin disappears, you've lost everything. That's why you don't put all your eggs in one basket. You don't put all your money in one stock. You put your money around. You put it in different places. That way, if the tech industry is booming but the Bitcoin industry is failing, I know that's not really that doesn't correlate the same, but that's the example I'm giving. You're evening out. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. And bro, you're doing that. You're killing it. You started doing Facebook, which is kind of newer. Not Facebook itself isn't newer, but that's like newer for you. You've been doing Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for years. So like, bro, you're killing it. You're diversifying, and this is also going to be one of the toughest years you've ever had, considering you lost your filmer, bro, and you're still killing it. So I don't want you to beat yourself up. You're doing great, bro.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. It made me feel good on the inside. I'm a little warmer. But now NF has a line that resonates so hard with me. And so he says, NF is an artist. He's a rapper. He says, I work 24 hours a day and it never feels like I've done enough. Like it's it's hard because I just have big goals, and like I don't want to say that in no way is my business or what I do come down. It's just not what I've envisioned or wanted it to be. Um, and so like not having a filmer is like one of those aspects of like I really wish I had a filmer because I have 10 snowboard helmets sitting in my garage that I want to take to the mountain and give to people that don't have helmets. And I wanted to do that today, and I don't have a filmer. And I'm still trying to find someone to help me make that video on Saturday, which would be the most ideal day. But I want to get this video done before I head out to Germany, because Clue's the one that purchased the helmets to give to everybody. I have the helmets now, and I just I don't have somebody that I also trust to film it correctly. And you know this as someone that's made content. Like it's gonna be a really fun, really rad video, but I need someone to help, and I don't have someone to help, and it's frustrating.
It's difficult when you have a vision and trying to have someone else also fulfill that vision for you. When it comes to content creation, I get that it's difficult, but bro, I wish I could help you out. I wish I could be that filmer for you, but I know it's just I don't have the time, so I'm sorry. Saturday I'm running a 5K in the morning with Kirsty, so but no, I wish I could help you, bro. And living so far away does suck, but I wish I could be there for you.
Nah, it's all good, and it's one of those things where I need to challenge myself to go meet new people that I can either help them grow their thing and they can help me, or I need to pay people, and it's hard because like the people that are available right now that do help or whatever, like they're good buddies and things, but like they're not people I want to like put on. I want to keep them in the friend area. I don't want to like pay them to film. I don't want them to do stuff, but they're down to like occasionally like, oh, I can help you with that a little faster or something like that. Um, but I need to find that young kid that's hungry, that I can pay like $50 a day if he's like wants to come like dedicate 2 hours, 3 hours to filming. I can throw him some cash, and then like he's in it, he's about it, like he enjoys it, type of thing.
Just post on Instagram that you're looking for friend applications. No, I'm joking.
I need some friends. No, it's hard because I know so many people up here, and I know there are people that want to help, but like once again, like finding someone that's available is the other thing. Someone that can show up every day and be there is very hard.
I wonder if I know this would sound selfish in a lot of ways, but if we're being honest, it's sadly the reality that you're in. But what if you looked into creating essentially a unpaid internship position that's like it's like an on-call unpaid internship, as in it's like, hey, I would love to pay you, and trust me, you've done it in the past. You're like, I would love to do that. Financially, I can't, and depending on the situation, I may be able to throw you some stuff, or if we're going to a new resort, I can essentially pay for that experience. But right now, I can't promise you a full-time job or anything. But I need somebody that I can rely on for like a couple videos a month, like this one, where you call them and you say like, hey, I need you to film something with me this weekend, Saturday or Sunday, where we go and we're going to hand out a bunch of helmets, and essentially it's not, they're not contractually obligated essentially, but it's like, if they can swing that, I'd be like, yeah, I got you. They'll be there. You kind of see what I'm saying, like, or that the idea behind it.
No, totally. I totally see what you're saying. Um, and no, and they're out there. I gotta find them, and it's one of those things where there are some people that have shown up, can show up every day, or have shown up every day, and they want to do stuff in the industry, and I'm like literally offering like, hey, look, if you put a little bit more into my thing, like I'll be able to teach you and show you and really set you up for like a life at snowboarding, and they just can't see it. They're just they're so blind to it. If that makes sense. It's like, yo, Like the opportunity's right here. I'll teach you everything that I've done, and like I'll even like throw you extra gear and stuff. But they're just like do, 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 and they just want it like in a lot of ways want to do it their own way, which is totally good. Like do things your own way or things like that. It's not even like they have to do it my way. It's just like they can't get past like I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain without like just roasting somebody.
To take a second to kind of humble you a little bit, bro. Like, how would you feel even in the situation you're in right now if somebody was like, "Hey, I need you to come and give me your time, but I'm not gonna pay you, but you can learn stuff from me." Like,
Well, I see that I've learned that lesson, and like I really wanted to, and I realized it just wasn't the right year. But I wanted to reach out to one of my favorite professional snowboarders, Torstein, and just be like, "Hey, I don't need anything from you. I don't need money. I don't need nothing. I'm fully self efficient. I want to come and just build your jumps. I just want to be around how you do it, what you do, the people you're doing it with. I want to just observe and I want to work for free. And I will build your jumps. I will film. I'll hold the camera. What do you need? I will be there. I'll be a part of it, and I need nothing from you."
that'd be a really cool experience. Yeah.
To go from like, yo, I'm just like a resort rider kid, like to now I'm at a point where like, okay, like I like going in the backcountry. I like doing backcountry lines. But like, how do you find these jumps you're doing in the backcountry? How do you find these drops? How do you build the kicker and know that where the speed is? Like, how do you do this stuff? Like, I'll come shovel the entire jump for you, man. I'll come spend 2 days doing this. Like, I just need to learn and want to learn. But the hard part is a lot of what Torstein's doing is traveling and like in other areas and like same thing with other pros, you know. But like that was a way of me thinking like, hey, one, I could get a new crew, but two, I should learn and level up and start doing more because I you know this from even my own snowboard ability. I'm self taught. Like everything I'm doing, I'm learning on my own, and no one's out there really showing me. I'm just like head down and going, and like I really think if I wanted to level up my backcountry, even backcountry booters, backcountry lines, like not even just backcountry, but just like big mountain snowboarding, I got to meet other people that have done it or doing it, and I can level up from them.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really cool experience. I will say it's a little bit different when if it's like dedicating a couple days or a season, essentially, like like more of like a full time job. But no, I don't blame these kids for essentially shooting you down. I think that it is a missed opportunity. I think that they
The kids,
can
no,
learn
the
it.
kids aren't shooting. They're not shooting me down. They just, I don't think they see the opportunity. It's like, dude, you're hanging out. Not like this might sound so egotistical. It's like, yo, you're hanging out with Johnathan Buckhouse, and like I can show you or teach you or answer any. I can help you learn tricks, like all that type of stuff, and they just like they don't. There's an opportunity right in front of them, and they just don't take any advantage of anything. They don't ask me any questions. They don't. They don't. I don't know. It's hard. Once again, it's very hard. It's not a conversation for us to have on a podcast because I'm not gonna roast people.
All right. All right. Well, real quick, we did get asked a question, and I said I would bring it up. So let me go ahead and find this question. It's from Apple Zeppelin 72 on YouTube, and it was when we were talking about your living situation a couple weeks ago. And he said, "Hey, Johnathan, apart from the lack of closets, is the place you're living, or the place you're in, your dream home? Is your landlord looking to sell anytime soon? Could you afford it? Could you afford it if they were? Then you could add the closets yourself and keep the backyard." Just something I wanted to touch on, but it's like, would you consider your current living situation to be your dream home? Like that maybe not necessarily that, like it's not like a 7-car garage or anything, but like is it a something you could see yourself living in for the rest of your life if you owned the whole house?
Yeah. So first, my landlord's not looking to sell, and I don't think they will. Um, Anytime soon. They're still pretty young. They just turned 60, and they have 2 kids. Type situation. And believe it or not, where I live is a compound. It's massive. in the sense that there is a 5-bedroom house attached to a 4-bedroom house. So we live in the mother-in-law suite section of the house, which is massive in itself. And then you have this 5-bedroom house attached to us. The house that's attached to us is more of a log cabin style, which is like not our ideal style of a house. But if I could buy this whole property and then we could move into the bigger house, yeah, that would be super ideal. And then I don't know, we probably would rent this side, but what's a dream for me is the outside of the house. We have this long driveway that I can like skateboard on or summerboard on in the summertime. It's super fun. We can go play pickleball out there. Like the driveway, the kids can ride their bikes or skateboard up and down it. It's so ideal, especially in the mountains because it's actually asphalt instead of a dirt road. It's crucial. I mean, like I got a massive backyard terrain park, and we have a section for the dogs. I got a space for the camper, like outside, and even this garage to my studio office. All ideal. Inside, in order to get to me and my wife's bedroom, you have to walk through my son's bedroom. Like there's no like he doesn't have a closed off room. You have to walk through his room to get to our room. And so like that's not ideal. There is no closets in there. And the living room, dining room, kitchen area is open concept and it is very comfortable, and that doesn't need to be bigger, but it is like closet space for towels. We don't have closet space for blankets. We don't have. So like it is little things, and I would say it's 80% working for us, 20% not. So it's like, okay, like let's put some energy behind getting out of here. And now that me and my wife, I said it earlier, we've like focused in, we have goals together. Like we've been working together and trying to get pre-approved and what do we need to do financially and all this type of stuff. I think she has settled down and realized like, okay, like we're in a good situation. If we want to be in a dream situation, we got to like start cracking down on these certain aspects of our lives. We got to pay off this certain like school loan debt, things like that. So, yeah, if we could buy the whole house, it would be ideal if it was just buying this one section. And if we did purchase this, quote unquote, say this one section, there is space to expand the living situation side. I just don't know how much that would cost or what would go into all of that type of stuff, but it could be expandable. But because this is a large house attached to another large house, they don't think we would be able to buy like one side of it.
I saw it just as an opportunity to say, like, hypothetical, if owning the property was like a dream, like, could it be a dream home for you?
Owning this style of property would be a dream. Like the 2 acres, backyard park, the driveway, absolutely. Like dude, I could literally, if COVID happened again, I could do everything I wanted just at my house. I could still go snowboard every single day. I can still like make content. Like it is, I live in a dream location. I absolutely am so thankful and blessed to where we are. And in no way, well, like, oh, we don't have any closets, we gotta move. Are we like complaining? It's just, I always say like this, like business and me, this place 100% works and we're super happy. For the family, they're tight and uncomfortable. And so we have to find this balance of like, we need to live somewhere that works for the business, but also somewhere that works for the family. And it's this hard line of like, dude, if we just went to Colorado Springs, we could just rent a suburban house that the family would be incredibly comfortable in. But what would be very uncomfortable? The business would be driving 3 to 4 hours a day trying to get up to the mountains to make the content. I want to be able to make any videos at the house, like type of situation. So it's like, it's a dance for sure.
Indeed. House is something I would love to do in my future. Oh, hi, Shao. Are you telling me it's time? It's done. Time to be done.
I heard him.
Yeah. Are you telling
Shao?
me? Come here.
He's like, dude, him running out of the house the other day.
I'll have a video up.
Pull it up. Shadow snuck out.
Oh yes.
Shadow's one of the best dogs ever to be on this planet. He's such a good dog. But he snuck out on Ben, not because he was trying to be bad. I just think he just thought he was going outside.
So, No, I don't want to end on a sad note, but honestly, the night prior, so like I said, I've got the video up. Shadow is not a runner. Shadow is a very obedient dog. And he also gets very excited when we get home. So this happened, and luckily the Ring camera caught it, and luckily my wife showed up literally a minute after me, so everything was fine. But no, the night prior, Shadow gave me a scare. He was not wanting to stand up. He wasn't wanting to move a lot, and if he was struggling a lot. And it was just a very scary moment. What it is though is Shadow's joints are going away, or like they're not performing as well. But also, we're in a cold front right now. It is freezing in like the negative tens. Like it's cold right now, and that affects my joints and it affects his joints. And so he was having some joint pain this night, and the next morning he was a lot better. But what I think it was the night prior to this, he was really struggling. Just he was very uncomfortable and everything, so he didn't want to go outside. He didn't want to eat his food. He was just really uncomfortable. So then the next morning he was a little bit better, but then by the time that I got home, he was a lot better, and I think that he needed to use the restroom because he was kind of holding off on it from his joint pain. And so as soon as I got home, he just ran down the stairs. So I think that he just had to use the restroom really bad. Poor dude, but no, I love him. He's such a good boy. But no, that was I was panicking because, like I said, the night prior he was kind of iffy, like he was scaring me. And then I'm inside and I'm like, where's Shadow? Where's Shadow? I'm like, I can't find him. And that was giving me a panic attack. And all of a sudden my wife gets home and she's like, why was Shadow outside? I was like, why is he outside? I don't know. Like, I was so confused.
All right. I think that was a fun one to end the podcast on. I'm really proud of you, bro. Keep working hard, guys. Life's about ebbing and flowing. And if you feel like you're not doing enough, you're probably not. And I'm joking. Don't let it get to you. Don't beat yourself up. I like being vulnerable on this podcast and being able to just talk about like mental frustrations or channel frustrations, things like that. Well, I did want real quick before I end. I used to think, this is for anyone that's going to start making content, I used to think one video, like it only takes one video and it'll change everything. And I mean, maybe long form wise, it might be that way, but short form wise, it's not the case. Cause I had that video hit like 20 million views.
I saw 20
on
million
Instagram.
on Instagram.
I mean, my Instagram did grow a lot. It's like really good, but at the end of the day, it didn't really change much. Does that make sense? So, don't go for the home runs. Go for the slow grind, the slow build, the slow community growth. That's the move, not the quick viral moment.
Love it. I think that's a great last piece of advice to throw out there. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for spending time with us. Thank you guys for being here. We really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining the conversation down below. I hope you guys enjoyed that little question that we had at the end. So please ask us more questions. We would love to hear them and answer them for you guys. But thank you guys for being you. Thank you, Johnathan, for being you. Thank you for being vulnerable. We love it. We love it. Welcome to the Realist Podcast, episode 43. One second, I got to triple check. Episode 44. Episode 44. We are cruising. Episode 44 in the books.
44.
Yes, sir. All right.
44.
Hey, guys. Got anything else to say, bro?
No. Peace.
Peace.